Kia ora in the news today. The head of Parliamentary Services has resigned over the Henry inquiry scandal. Speaker David Carter has confirmed the move in a statement this afternoon. He says both Jeff Thorne and himself acknowledge confidence in Parliamentary Services has been undermined by events in recent weeks, and as General Manager he's accepted responsibility for this. Meanwhile, the controversial GCSB spying bill has been passing through its second reading this afternoon. There have been nationwide protests in many towns and cities by people about the GCSB's powers to spy on New Zealanders. United Future leader Peter Dunn's vote is essential for it to pass. He says recent events around the Henry inquiry haven't caused him to change his mind and oppose the bill. Mr Dunn says the recent problems around access to MP movements and records, while a serious issue, isn't related to the GCSB bill. The Prime Minister has been under fire from the Greens for raising Al-Qaeda and its threat to the country ahead of today's second reading of the GCSB bill. Mr Key says there are people in New Zealand who've been trained in Al-Qaeda camps. But Green Party co-leader Russell Norman says that's a cynical use of privileged information by Mr Key. He says if the PM was genuine about protecting New Zealand's security, he'd do it in the national interest, not his own sectarian political interests. In other news, the collapse of Mainzeal is being pinpointed as one of the factors behind the liquidation of a 53-year-old family flooring company in Auckland. 18 people are set to lose their jobs at Hills Flooring. Liquidator Jeff Meltzer says there are several factors behind the decision, including a tough retail market and $250,000 that the company was owed by the failed construction firm Mainzeal. Across the Tasman, Sydney mass murderer Roger Dean has been jailed for life. Dean murdered 11 elderly nursing home residents who perished in a fire that he started at the home on November the 18th, 2011. Justice Megan Latham imposed a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Back home, prices being demanded for houses have rocketed to an all-time high. The latest figures from realestate.co.nz show that the seasonally adjusted national average jumped more than $10,000 in July to just under $466,000. That's an 8% increase on July of last year. Auckland's average asking price is now $639,685. A Christchurch firm will have to pay $63,000 after pleading guilty to 10 charges of breaching the Fair Trading Act. The charges related to swing tabs and labels on My Woolies sheepskin footwear, which implied that the products were made in New Zealand when in fact they were made in China. Emirates is adding a second non-stop flight from New Zealand to Amsterdam. From December the 4th, the new daily service will be flown by a Boeing 777-200LR featuring 266 seats. And that's all from us. Don't forget you can keep up to date with all the news as it happens by listening to New Zealand's Rima and Southern Star with bulletins on the hour right through the night. But for now, from all of us on the news team, ka kite anō.